It's up there. Hello, hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right, so making sure we got everything loaded up here. Load up our save files. So, last time where we left off, do you remember?
Yes. We were pretty in deep with the mystery in that we found out that two old friends were having an affair because they were roommates.
They were roommates.
And it seemed like the story was about to conclude to like a happy-ish ending with the lovers running away to California. But with every mystery, there has to be some more like plots and turns. So
Yeah, and the way it is, it's these two ladies, one of which she's married and she has a husband, but she's also a writer. And then the other one ran away from her husband who was abusive.
and she has
A son. And the one who's a writer was writing a story that was heavily inspired about the budding romance that the two women had when they were college roommates. And that's how they kind of reconnected.
And the detective person
Some kind of private investigator guy.
actually turns out that he was a fan of the writer and was sending in some type of fan mail correspondence. And it seems to be pretty valid because it talked about his time in the army, his discharge, his background, and
His some kind of mental illness.
Struggle with like mental health. And so he's kind of following them, and that's how he ended up like taking photos of probably the worst maid ever, but
Us.
Meanwhile, too, the story is also kind of setting up where you could parallel the maid story, where she could have a connection with Beth, the front desk attendant. We didn't choose to pursue that because we're really vested in like the main story, but that's an option too.
Yeah, it looks like there's some possible like romance stuff, and I don't really know how far that branches off or anything, but
Okay.
also the private investigator has talked to or was seen talking to the husband of the writer, but it looks like the private investigator was actually talking to and got hired by the writer to follow the other woman, but now there's like a whole convoluted, and so it's like everybody knows everybody, but not everybody has all the pieces except for us.
Well, and even then, there's also some side stories that are happening in the hotel where there's like some people sabotaging each other, getting each other fired. And we've kind of stayed out of that just because, again, I'm very vested in the main story. But we've just kind of watched people get framed and we didn't intervene.
If you hear something, no, you didn't. That's the philosophy we've been taking so far in the playthrough. So everything kind of wrapped up with a nice little bow of, I would say, uneventful closure on the last playthrough. But it's just like ... the next day type of deal. So right at the end where we left off, the blizzard that's happening outside got even more intense, and it looks like we might be trapped at the hotel that we work at overnight. We might have to just spend the night over here. So that's where we're picking up. Also, we're a terrible maid, and I don't think we've actually fully cleaned one room that we've gone into. So I should probably pick that up and stop stealing cups, because for some reason I keep stealing cups from every room that I'm in. But yeah, this is where we left off. So let's see what the thought bubble has to say.
Ringing. Sounds like the elevator doors are jammed.
Hello, Resi Santa 2574.
How's it going? All right, so elevator doors sound like they're jammed. See, so I never know how much I'm supposed to be picking up. Like
this one, last time you did try to clean that, and to your defense, it did say like it looks like it's so fresh that you better not throw it away.
Yeah, and then like the husband's sleeping couch because his wife locked him out of the bedroom. And then I was like, I have to remember the controls. Is that blood?
I knew there was going to be a murder. Do you think it's Beth?
Or the husband? I don't think it's Beth.
Oh. A little bit of a trigger warning.
Is that our boss? Don't touch the body.
Mr. Cruz? Mr. Cruz. Oh God. Oh God. What happened? Mr. Cruz's life insurance policy. Why did he have this on him?
Alright, so we got a life insurance policy here. $10,000. February 6, 1978. Okay, so it's still in effect. It's like a 20-year policy. Okay. Should we throw it away? That's weird that we have that option. It's like the only thing I can search.
How strange that you can't search the...
Oh,
Okay.
Is this about Paul? Does that mean...
all right. Dear Mr. Cruz, thank you for reporting that guest's unacceptable behavior. We will look into it as soon as possible. However, I regret to inform you that we cannot divulge a guest's personal information regardless of that guest's behavior. As I am sure you will understand, we are very concerned with our guest's privacy, and our staff prides itself on its discretion. Please contact us should that guest bother you again. Yours sincerely, Bernard Leduc, hotel manager. Okay, so Mr. Cruz is the husband, right?
I don't remember, to be honest.
We're the worst detectives ever. I think this is the wealthy husband, the one that was going out on those shopping sprees and stuff. That the
that she was pictured with.
yes.
Okay.
I think that's who it is. All right, so we have the option of throwing each of those away. I don't know if we do.
I mean, I don't think it's a good idea.
This was my luck. Somebody will catch us with it. I think that's all we can look at.
You can't even clean up the...
I know. It's my job to clean this up.
Okay, you should probably call Beth. Oh.
I got both of us like...
By the way, we know nothing about this game. We saw like a trailer and thought it looked really enticing. So if this is a scary game,
no clue what's gonna happen.
we're in for a surprise.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do what you should never do in any kind of situation. I'm gonna follow this trail of blood and see where it goes. We have a suitcase out here that I can't interact with.
Looks like there was some type of struggle.
Maybe
Just a
we're not
bit.
not 100. An ice pick.
Why is there... Can you open that?
Yeah, but what's this? Pearls.
Also, let
Earrings.
us know if you would like us to try a scary game. We're not opposed to it.
I am a chicken when it comes to scary stuff.
Mostly because I'm not the main driver of these games.
All right, so we got some cigarettes. AB.
That doesn't really help to narrow anything down. Everybody smokes.
Well, but it was engraved. It said AB on the... So right there. So whoever's initials are AB. All right, I guess we... So there's pearl earrings or pearl necklace.
Should I hold on to this, maybe?
You probably shouldn't hold on to the murder weapon.
Yeah. Does this say play size pick? Yeah, we're going to put that down. All right, so there's a camera. There's also a book over here. So I'm just going to, walk through all the evidence.
Poor Paul. Lindsay's death really hit him hard. He hasn't been in the best headspace.
February 14th. Montreal's much bigger than I expected. Big cities always make me feel lonely, and that feeling was only exacerbated this morning by the fact that everyone around me was speaking a language I could not understand. I bought an English-French dictionary at the train station, but I don't think I'll need it after all. English speakers seem more common in the downtown area, thank God. The hotel is nice. When I arrived, the whole staff was busy getting ready for some big event. It wasn't until I saw Marcella enter the lobby with a flower bouquet that I realized today's Valentine's Day. Hector and her were gone in a flash, and I was left feeling more alone than ever, wishing Lindsay was here with me. Helping Marcella out these past weeks has been a great distraction, but it still hurts so much every time I think about him. I had hoped the pain would have gone by now. I'll probably need a double dose of Miltone to sleep tonight.
So Paul just needed to pass the time while Marcella was away. That's why he was observing us.
It's February 15th. Today I wanted to follow Marcella and Hector out of the hotel, but the sidewalks were so packed with people that I started having a panic attack. I tried taking a cab, and that's when I realized I was all out of money. It's been a while since Marcella's last payment, and the hotel room was more expensive than I had anticipated. I couldn't resort to selling the camera, so I decided to pawn my victory medal instead. It was hard letting it go after so many years, yet it also felt strangely liberating. Maybe it's a sign I shouldn't be holding on to the past so much. To fight boredom until Marcella and Hector's return, I started looking at the hotel staff. I heard Andrew and Beth at the reception desk discussing books and movies. They both seem like nice people. I wish I had found the courage to join their conversation. When you look at people all day and they never look back, you start feeling invisible. I noticed that Sophie, the maid in charge of cleaning the 5th floor, seems to share my interest for other people's lives. Maybe I should try talking to her. So we saw us snooping.
Paul was hiding out right here. Did he ever find the person who was sneaking out at night?
So February 16th. Who's sneaking out of their room every night? The question has been driving me crazy since my first night at the hotel, so tonight I decided to investigate. I found a hiding spot near the ice machine with a nice view of the whole corridor. My camera's at the ready, but there's no movement for at least 3 hours, and I'm fighting not to fall asleep. No need for Miltone tonight. I thought being a detective would be more exciting. Maybe Marcella is right. Maybe it's time I let go of Mr. Spade.
9:45? So Anne and Marcella met here this morning while I was busy cleaning room 504.
I awoke around 9:30 a.m. and realized I had fallen asleep sometime in the early morning. I was about to go back to my room when the guest from room 507 came to sit on one of the chairs close by. She's been there ever since, and I don't dare leave my hiding spot in front of her. Marcella joined the guest from 507 around 9:45. Apparently she told Hector she didn't love him anymore, and he's now convinced she's been cheating on him. That explains why he assaulted me out of the blue yesterday evening and accused me of having an affair with his wife. That's The guest from 507, I've learned her name is Annie, has just said she might have an idea on how to solve their problem. I'm thinking of revealing myself, but I don't want to anger Marcella. The longer I wait, the more awkward it will be when I do come out. Maybe I should. That's the end.
Oh, so Paul's work with Marcella was to follow her around like a private investigator, to help her with research for her novel.
Oh, so that's why she hired him. Okay. Just a quick recap. It's like Colonel Logan tortured someone. Yeah, really. So just to kind of a quick recap on this, Paul was the one who was writing the letters to Marcella. Marcella's the author. And then just like randomly out of the blue in one of the letters, Marcella hired Paul to be a private investigator. And it was like a complete like 180 compared to how she was writing about how she felt about having Paul write to her, because he was kind of
Questionable.
Yeah, a little stalkerish, but like more of like infatuated with her story.
Very
So
enthusiastic,
yeah. So, dear Paul, I'm sorry to hear you are in such a dire situation. You seem to possess a lot of useful skills. Oh, so these are the response letters from the ones that we read.
Yes.
And it's a shame employers cannot see past your medical history, but don't despair. I've been writing novels for almost 8 years now. My publisher takes most of the sales revenue, but I was able to collect a substantial sum of money over the years. Now I'd like to use that money to hire you. I'm getting tired of romance novels and thinking of branching out into crime fiction. As a sort of research, I would like you to follow me around town and take notes of my comings and goings. I'm aware this is a very unusual job, but considering you're able to track me down, I believe you would make a great private detective. In addition to your salary, I would cover all work-related expenses, and you should of course be the first to read the manuscript once it's finished. Sincerely, M.
Paul really got into his role.
Dear Paul, I hope spying on me isn't proving too exhausting. You've really inspired me so far, and I already have tons of ideas. The trench coats you bought were a nice touch. You look straight out of a film noir. I also noticed you started smoking. It's probably another way for you to get into character, but maybe that's pushing it a little too far. You know best, of course, but don't pick up drinking next. At this rate, I should be able to start writing in 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks again for your help.
He followed Marcella to Montreal even though she was done with her research.
Oh, and this letter's different. Paul, why did you follow me to Montreal? As I already told you, I do not require your services anymore. I'm starting to worry you are taking your role a bit too seriously. You are not a real detective. You have to let go. And I see all these other ones were typed, and then that one's handwritten. So I guess this is where he was hiding. Man, we were over here too. Okay, so there's his camera. Cappy 25. Alright, so I don't see any other. We already opened this one, right? This was the one that had that letter in it, or that note.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there's women's jewelry here is weird.
Do you trust Marcella?
I don't know.
She seems really suspicious.
They all seem suspicious.
Of course.
Oh, hello, Joyce 1738. I like
Hello.
the Pedro.
Picture.
Okay. Well, do we just go into like a random room to call?
If there's not a phone at the end here.
I don't think there is. Yeah, and we can't really. Oh, this is the one that had the note in it, not the other one. Okay. Well, I guess let's go into 509. It's the one that we were in before, right? Yeah. That's not there.
Oh no. That's suspicious.
No answer. Beth must be busy trying to restore the power in the lobby.
Okay.
But that's weird that it didn't even give you the option to like alert the authorities.
Yeah. Where is everybody at? Am I the only one who's on this floor right now?
Are you gonna start searching every room?
Yeah, I don't really know what to do. was before 88 laws, so I don't even know if there's like a stairwell or something.
You could pull him out.
I was wondering if I could like step over him. Is that a... No, okay.
Maybe you're right to keep checking the rooms.
It's also super creepy that there's no lights right there.
It is very creepy.
Alright, this was with a killer. Did we read this note or anything? We probably did. Yeah. Well, I just assumed this guy was the killer, and he's probably not. Okay. Nothing in this room. Oh, but he does have a gun. But it looked like he was not shot, so... I think we're missing something over here. I wonder if there's a way for me to like look in the... I didn't even think to look in here.
I have to get the power back on.
How are we supposed to get that power back on? Try the light switch.
Yeah, well, let me click that.
It's worth a shot.
I wonder if wasn't there like a maintenance room at the other side
I thought that was...
downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, stairs, right. They did have stairs.
Oh, never
And
mind.
janitor's closet.
It's too big.
Oh no, you
Guess
have to
I'll
get the
need
ice
something.
pick.
Oh
Oh.
dear.
I have to walk all the way to the other end of the hall.
Don't be suspicious.
Right? Just the most suspicious person.
You're probably gonna get framed for all of this, by the way.
You know, at this point. Well, I'm gonna walk right by and the cops are just gonna come flying in. Okay, he's still dead.
Have you seen, given this is taking place in a hotel during a storm, have you seen any references to The Shining?
Okay, so I've been like trying to keep an eye out. I haven't seen anything explicit, so
That worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back.
all right.
Eugene, what I would give to have you with me right now. Your note will have to make do.
Oh yeah, and Eugene's not even here because he quit after we accidentally helped get his fiance fired. All right. So as you can tell, the game is called This Bed We Made, and we're basically just making everything more difficult for us.
And all of our previous choices turns out probably wasn't the best.
So if there's a power outage and I'm busy preventing another part of the hotel from collapsing, here's what to do. Check fuse box plan for required amperage for each socket. Remove all blown fuses from sockets. Tip blown fuses are usually blackened. Screw in new fuses and sockets. Make sure amperage is correct. Flick big lever to restore power. All right.
Don't get electrocuted.
So it looks like this one's blown. I guess this one looks blown.
How did this end up here?
Ooh.
Ooh. They're safe combinations. It's good to know. Okay. All right, so that one, there's a blown fuse there. Place fuse A, fuse S, fuse G. I don't know what any of those are. Okay, so we have A, S, and G. So if this is S, this is 20. A is 15, so we have to put an A there.
How does Eugene do this again? Fuses.
No, I guess
I
I don't have
probably
fuses.
need new fuses.
We have to go find new fuses.
So it looks like this one is burnt, and then this one's burnt. Okay. So we need a 15, a 30, and a 20.
Can we find some stairs?
See, you should have fuses right here next to the fuse box.
Yes, this is what I need.
I found 2 fuses.
I don't think there's anything here that would help me.
Oh, there's one literally right in front of me. Okay. Cool. All right, so I'm guessing 15 is A. Scroll. Oh, scroll. There we go. Okay. So this one needs to be a 30. So 30's G. Which means S is 20. All right, we restored the power to the floor. So now I wonder if we call Beth.
Yeah.
That's weird. So I guess I can't call Beth. Jump scared.
At least he's still there.
Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back.
I should probably go put the murder weapon back.
That is true. And were there any safes that we weren't able to look into?
I honestly think the only safe that we looked into was the first one. I think... Let's see. So,
That's so funny because this is the first time you've brought up this field, and we've gone back into the rooms to look at clues so many times.
yeah, I just saw it when I hit escape. Okay, I don't see anything about...
I think it's giving you one last chance as well to think about discarding any of the, stalker pictures or,
I don't think we kept anything, though.
the diary that references you snooping in people's lives.
Hello? Is anyone in?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Hello? I need help. Hello? Is anyone in?
Oh, I guess those are the rooms that we never got a chance to go into. Okay, so I want to check something really quick. So that's 504. The thing was down here, right? The supply closet.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if that had a code for 504 because that doesn't. It didn't even give me the option to try. No, 504 is completely. It just says 3x and then yeah. So I don't even know if we'd be able to use this to unlock anything. Well, there's stairs.
It doesn't look like you can use. Oh, it looks like you can. They're really dark, but sure.
Well, I guess, you know, second playthrough, then we can try to figure out secrets.
I knew blocking the stairs would be a bad idea.
Oh.
Alright, so... Does that mean I'm just gonna, like, yank the body out of the way and take the elevator?
It kind of looks like it. Leave.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So you snoop through everything. You touch the murder weapon. You move the body.
Yeah, all in a day's work. Restrooms. Still out of order.
Beth? Where is everyone?
That's creepy.
Hmm. Nope. Can't go in there. Okay.
Can you go to the employee area?
I think that's the basement.
What if everybody's dead?
That would be scary. The no divorce thing that's running through this whole game. I wonder if the restaurant's open. Nope. Okay. Management offices?
Anybody down here?
Employee area? No. Okay. So we can go in a closet, so just in case we need to hide. You know what this feels like? Did you ever go to a school after hours? I always felt like you knew your way around, but it just felt like super eerie and creepy. Yeah, that's
One
what
time I left my house keys and I had to go back.
I'm like. Can I just leave?
I was gonna say, can you try the front door?
I can't leave just yet. I need to deal with this.
You
don't.
were not paid enough to deal with
I
this.
know. If I ring the bell. Oh, I thought that would work. This is everybody who's staying here. All right, I guess we'll try to take the elevator again.
To where?
I guess the basement is like
I'm not going back up there.
Okay.
Well, let's get a clue.
Phone. I need a phone.
We tried the phone.
Oh, the front desk has a phone.
Do you think the power line is down again?
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby, but the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Oh, 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am. Officers are on their way.
Thank you.
I like how she says a couple words and he's like, please stay calm.
She was hysterical. We haven't been back here. Beth was always back here.
Why does the VIP want to meet with Paul? Maybe he fell for his role-playing and wants to hire him as a private investigator.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because there's this mysterious VIP guy who's like super wealthy or something that's staying at the hotel.
Yeah, everyone's trying to make him happy and accommodate him. He's complaining about guests.
Yeah. To all reception staff, discard previous instructions. Our prestigious guest has expressed the desire to meet the guest from room 505. I cannot fathom what such an illustrious man wants from such a freak, but if you see him, please direct him towards my office. Thank you.
Bernard really wants Paul out of the hotel.
Okay, so this is the previous one. I've heard more reports on the guests from room 505 and his strange behavior, following people around, spying on guests, etc. As you're all aware, we have a very prestigious guest in room 602, and I would hate for his stay at our distinguished establishment to be tarnished because of some undesirable guests. Inform the guest in 505 that he must vacate his room as soon as possible. Invent an excuse if you have to. Also note that from now on, our "if you can pay, you can stay" policy no longer applies. Guests who do not fit the hotel's new elevated standards should be denied a room. I didn't like Bernard before, but I really don't like him.
Yeah, when there was a body, I was looking hoping
Is this the brochure Beth was talking about? The one that came in the mail for Anne?
Oh yeah, when she was snooping through her mail. These are the train tickets.
So Anne and Marcella really are planning to run off together. Was what happened to Hector part of their plan?
I don't know.
I don't think so. They also have a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, hey you. Great timing, right? I'm thinking if we're lucky, Bernard will let us go home. No point in working in the dark. Sophie? Bean, you're not scared of the dark, are you? Hey, is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector.
Oh, you did? What was the bloke up to?
You don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, Beth.
Oh, merde. Merde. Sit down, okay? You look like you're about to faint.
It's a weird reaction.
Have you called the police?
Yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was there an accident?
No, I don't think so. Someone did this to him.
You mean... Merde. Do you think it could have been Anne and Marcella?
I'm gonna say no.
I think it's Paul.
What about Paul? He and Hector were caught fighting.
The cops will want to talk to you. Know what you've seen. You need to be careful about what you tell them. If word of Anne and Marcella's affair gets out, they may put a label on them that will really hurt them. It might not even matter in the end if they did it or not.
And she's right.
She makes a valid point.
I think I know what you mean. It's easier to put the blame on people who are different from you, even if you're wrong.
I'm glad you can see that. It makes the world a little safer to have people like you in it. You know, I was barely 20 when I was shoved into a police car for just hanging out with people who made me feel like I wasn't so messed up after all.
What? Where did that happen?
At the White Cat. It's supposed to be a safe space, but it gets raided by cops every now and then. I know Anne was caught at least once too.
Wait,
No.
So she knows her.
Yeah, that's how I knew the answer to the riddle. I've never talked to her, but I've seen her a few times. Marcella and her, they're They're just like me.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with this.
Maybe now you can understand why I care so much about you. I don't know if I'm feeling inspired by Anne and Marcella, or if it's the shock of being so close to an actual murder, but, I'd really like for us to be more than just friends, Sophie.
Do you trust Beth?
Okay. I was Team Beth all the way up until now that she has that connection to Anne. I still don't think she did it. But I say, okay, I'm not opposed to the romance option. I think, at least for this playthrough, we don't.
Okay.
And then we can explore more of those if we do another playthrough.
I don't trust Beth. I'm gonna put that on the record now.
I'm not sure if I feel the same way or not.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Okay,
sad though.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot to think about already. I don't want to add to that. The police is here. Just be mindful of what you tell them, okay?
Yeah, of course.
That was pretty brave of Beth, though, I will say.
Absolutely.
Especially in a time like when this game took place.
Also, our older dog is having a little bit of a rough day. So
Yeah, if you hear him coughing, it's really
Miss Roy?
dry and dusty.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure you don't either.
No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. Again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors, so I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
Ooh, I didn't think about this. Because if we tell them that the body was blocking the doors, they found the body not blocking the doors.
I mean, you had to get down somehow. Remember lies can catch up to you.
Well, Mr. Cruz's body was preventing the doors from closing.
Really? When we found the body, it wasn't that close to the doors.
Oh, the stairs are blocked because of the renovations, so the elevator's the only way out of the 5th floor. I had no choice but to move the body. Just a little.
Ah, so that explains the traces we found. Thank you for clearing that up. So, what did you do after that?
Well, that's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly. I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But I thought an ice pick might do the trick, so I went to the ice machine to get one.
You're a size 7, I suppose.
Yes, I am. Why?
What did you see when you went to the ice machine?
There was blood. A lot of it.
Did you touch anything?
Again, literally every single item there. Oh my god, we're the worst.
I might have touched a few
They
things.
would already have your print.
Just to
so-
figure
Yeah,
out
you
what
have
had
to be
happened to
honest.
Mr. Cruz.
Of course you did. Why so many witnesses can't help but compromise the evidence is just beyond me.
Right?
Anyway, what did you do after restoring the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said, there's a man
You did.
dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
I would say it was just an assumption, given that he was dragged through the hallway.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair line.
I just assumed. What with all the blood?
I'm afraid I don't believe that, Miss Roy. It's more than an assumption, isn't it?
I'm not sure I understand what you...
I know you like going through your guests' personal belongings. We've found pictures of you snooping around.
I told you.
Now, unless you want me to arrest you for violating your guests' privacy,
You can't.
I suggest you
get
tell me
fired.
everything you know.
All right.
Let's start with the victim's wife, Marcella Cruz. Apparently, she left in quite a hurry this morning. What can you tell me about her?
Oh, jeez. This is what I get for being a bad.
Okay,
Bad at my
I
job.
already told you. The pictures
You know,
and the notes were
We-
very incriminating.
we can't live in the past. You know, we can just move forward.
You're the worst.
Okay.
I can't believe those are also your only two options. She's having an affair with another woman, or I don't know anything about her. It can't just be she's a guest at the hotel.
Yeah. Okay. So, if we tell the truth, worst case scenario, Marcella and Anne get blamed for everything, which they could actually be the people that did everything. Nobody knows. Right? Best case scenario. I don't know what the best case scenario is for.
They get away.
Yeah, they're
It's outside their jurisdiction. It's a whole other country. Right.
right.
Worst case scenario, we go to jail for incriminating ourselves in a murder.
So I mean, we kind of have to, you know, it's every woman for herself at this point. I don't, you know, they're not friends of mine. I don't know. Just throw them under the bus.
Let's just see. Let's test with his question, or let's just test with our answers. Say I don't know anything about her, and see how hard he comes down on us.
Okay.
I don't really know anything. She just looks like a loving, caring wife.
Really? That's odd, because we learned a lot about Mrs. Cruz when we went through her room. And let's just say that loving, caring wife are not the first words that would come to mind.
Oh?
She's a lesbian, involved in some sordid affair with the guest from room 507, Mrs. Beaumont. Have you ever witnessed them engaging in immoral behavior?
What do you mean?
I'm asking if you've seen them being, you know, intimate.
No, I haven't. No.
And did you hear them discuss their deviant ways in front of
Jeez.
Mrs. Beaumont's son, perhaps? Imagine. What kind of effect
It's
such
getting really
perversion
intense,
can
yeah.
have on a young child?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Did you hear them express their hatred of men? Did they ever talk about using violence against men? Did you hear them speak ill of Mr. Cruz?
Deny or take a stand.
I think deny is no, I didn't, and take a stand is listen to me. Like,
I mean,
I think at this point you take
What
a
are you trying to imply? That
Okay,
Mrs.
maybe
Cruz
not
killed
that
her
bad.
husband because she hates men?
I've seen it before from lesbians.
Oh, this has nothing to do with hate. It's about love. Not that you'd understand.
What the heck?
Oh, and you think you do? Then please, enlighten me.
She's brave enough to be with the one she loves. That doesn't make her a criminal. That doesn't mean she killed her husband.
I'm starting to worry you may be one of them, Miss Roy, since you're so eager to defend
And
these
I worry
deviants.
about your ability to do your job, Detective, since you seem to be such a...
Enough! One more word, just one more word, and you'll be spending the rest of your night in a cell.
Good for
Get the
her,
hell
though.
out of here. I've had enough of you.
It's when you say, am I under arrest or am I free to go? That was intense.
No, I was not expecting that.
Joyce thinks it's intense too. It's like, what are you guys doing? I was like, let's just see how hard he comes down on
Dude,
us.
yeah, just full on screaming match.
Wrath of Fury.
We had to have gotten fired.
I mean, I
Bernard
hope
was
so.
strangely chipper on the phone. That can't be a good sign. I guess I'll know soon enough. The atmosphere is so different in here. Will it ever feel like it used to? It'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens.
Should I do my job?
Maybe we should see if you still have a job first.
Well, you know.
Eugene, the lobby will be a swimming pool by the end of the month. Will the rest of the building even be standing?
Well, so what I should do is walk through this, and if I fall, workers' comp. He hasn't fired me yet. I can't even walk through it.
Is that even applicable in Montreal?
I'm sure.
I'm not going back up there.
Where am I going? I'm gonna go out on a high note. Look, he can't fire me now.
Ugh, go to hell.
Beth,
Hey,
Did she get fired?
are you okay?
I'm out of a job. But other than that, yeah, everything's just peachy.
What? No,
I hope you're luckier than I am. Come join me when he's done with you, all right? I'll be questioning my life choices on the mezzanine.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Keep sending stickers.
Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
Actually,
Not
not
really.
really.
I'm not sure, actually. Your phone call was a bit vague.
Yes, well, I prefer to have this conversation in person. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you,
You're
it's
getting
quite
fired.
uncomfortable to have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act. Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level, and it starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, you've been quite the exemplary maid lately. Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. I had planned to give this month's Employee of the Month title to Wendy, but since she's no longer with us, I'm thinking of giving it to you instead.
Really?
You should know it comes with the responsibility of being a glowing example for other staff members to follow. Is this something you believe you can do?
How did we fail up?
I mean, this is what it's literally rewarding us for not being a lesbian.
It's rewarding me for cleaning. Thank you.
You cleaned like one thing. You snooped through everything.
I cleaned most stuff.
Would it come with a reward?
I see you're a pragmatist. Yes, it would.
Yeah, got
Okay.
Rose.
Then I'll do it.
Good. I expect you to be here on Monday, first thing in the morning. There's a lot of work to be done before the reopening. That'll be all.
Got everybody fired and got a promotion.
Oh. Are we the bad guy?
We ain't the good guys.
Hey,
Hey.
what a week.
Yeah. So, what did Bernard want with you?
He offered me the Employee of the Month title.
Good for you, Bean! A shame I won't get to be there when you receive your reward.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's not your fault.
I know, but it's so unfair that I get rewarded while you lose your job.
Don't feel bad about it. You deserve it more than I do.
Did Bernard say why he was firing you?
Ugh. He was going on and on about keeping deviants out of the hotel, so
She took a stand.
I may have lost
Good
my
for her.
cool a little.
A little?
I told him I was one of those deviants he was so afraid of. He froze for a moment, then showed me the door.
Ask what's next.
So, what's next for you?
I think I'm done working under Bernard's or Linda's. Maybe it's time I become my own Bernard. Minus the fascism, of course. I could see myself owning my own establishment, one that caters to the right kind of crowd. Believe it or not, I do enjoy the company of people, just not, the stuck-up, entitled clientele of this prestigious hotel. But maybe if I were behind the counter of, say, a bar, instead of a reception desk. I don't know. Is that silly?
No, it's not.
She can handle
In
that.
fact,
Yeah.
you'd be perfect for it. You're the most charming person I know.
Thank you. I'm really glad we're friends.
Me too.
I guess go with this one,
What
the
do you think
neutral
will
option.
happen to them?
Who?
Sorry, my mind wanders sometimes. I meant Paul, Anne, and Marcella. Do you think they'll be released?
Yeah, I think so. Paul will probably become a famed photographer. His portrait of you will be hanged at the Louvre, entitled The Inconspicuous Maid. It will sell for millions.
Is that so?
Yeah, and Anne and Marcella will ride into the sunset on the back of two Appaloozas, watching over their newly acquired ranch. They'll be constantly followed by their only sheep. They'll call him Paul, for old time's sake.
I like that. I just want them to be happy.
Me too.
Man, I feel bad. I need to put some respect on Beth's name. I was suspicious of her from the beginning.
Oh no.
I mean, that ended on a very true film noir note.
VIP. Bernard's awful.
Well, there you have it. Nobody wins. And I think we're kind of the bad guys. But even if we did a replay, I don't see how people would really get a happy ending.
Yeah, like, so, and we've watched film noirs together.
Yes.
And this is 100% a film noir, right? They typically, like, don't end on a happy note because they try to give more of a realistic portrayal of situations that can come up, like Chinatown, right?
Yeah.
Chinatown, if you haven't seen it, really good movie, very adult, but it's probably, I would say, like one of the top 10 best movies of all time. However, it is a very, very, very bleak movie, and it ends on a very sour note, like extremely sour. But I mean, unfortunately that's very realistic for something like that to happen. So yeah, that was like a very, very film noir ending. So what'd you think?
I thought the story was very intriguing. I did at times feel, and granted we played this over many weeks, I did feel like there were a lot of names and I was having trouble keeping up with who
was who.
Like, yeah, who was impacted by which decision, and
especially because some people even had like
aliases
pseudonyms and say, yeah.
So I would recommend playing, a little closer together. There's a lot of clues, and we love puzzle games like this. This probably didn't show our best talents, but we definitely love trying to piece things together and twists and turns. And so I feel like this was right up our alley. I liked it. I do like how you could have chose completely different decisions, and I am wondering what would have happened if we got rid of those photos of us snooping through things. And
yeah, I wonder if there's an actual possible way to figure out, because it's very obvious he was murdered, right? Like it wasn't an accident, like he was killed.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there is a way to find enough evidence to point at somebody actually committing the crime. I think that's probably like the one big thing that I would want to look through. I will say from a story perspective, I thought it was really good. From a gameplay perspective, I do think it was a little shallow. It had a lot of neat mechanics in, going into people's rooms, snooping around, doing that investigative work, also combined with, being a maid at the hotel and kind of those interactions. But it definitely seemed like it didn't dive deep enough, and then it was like all of a sudden, here's the mystery. Yeah, here's the mystery. Solution. Somebody's dead. Game over.
I definitely thought we had a couple more hours. I was very shocked when we ended up in the police office being interrogated, basically, because that very much signifies the end. And I agree with you completely in that it took so long for the build-up, and the first false ending, I was like, oh, that was a good false ending. I wasn't expecting it to tie up so soon.
Yeah.
And our question says, so who was the person guilty? We don't know. And we don't know if, maybe different choices would have pointed to one single person.
It seems very obvious that you can point the fingers at the two women. Like, it seems like the game is pushing you in that direction, but it's really because of the time period.
Exactly, because at that point, you're risking a lot. You're risking your chance of a happily ever after. You're risking your child, like, missing out on their lives. And then, of course, you're taking away the life of another person, which I don't think you make that lightly. So I don't feel good about the ending. I definitely don't.
All three people in our ending got arrested. Paul and Marcella and Anne.
So yeah, Marcella and Paul all got arrested. Beth got fired.
Yeah, Beth got fired. And then even prior to that, because we didn't intervene, Wendy got fired and Eugene quit. So literally everybody had a terrible ending, and then we got promoted.
But we got promoted in a very excuse my language, very shitty establishment. And we weren't really the most ethical person given like the amount of snooping that we did and interfering.
Yeah, we didn't get
So-
punished at all for anything that we did.
Yeah, I don't know that our promotion was warranted, and it doesn't feel good.
No. But the other thing too, this game was made by a pretty small indie team, so I'm sure like budgetary reasons and stuff like that it didn't go further in depth. It was a really good story though, and I am kind of curious to see like, all right, there was because there was also that male, the guy at the beginning of the game. Remember, he like seemed kind of flirtatious with us, and he was only in the game for like maybe 10-15 minutes at the beginning, but we made like a pretty clear choice of working with Beth over him.
Yeah.
I wonder if we switch, if he becomes our liaison instead of Beth.
Yeah, I think this was enjoyable. I do think the game is probably a little too long for me to do a replay, but I would absolutely watch like people, I think, make different choices. I think that would be enjoyable.
Yeah, or look
Um,
through the achievement list to see if there's like
Yeah.
some clues about something else. I mean, what I can do that. I can take a look to see if like there's some other like more substantial branching stuff, and if there is, we can go through a playthrough of that just to kind of see what the other part of the story would be. But yeah, all in all, I think it was a good game. I'd say 7 out of
I'm
10.
gonna say 6, 7,
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
I think it was an enjoyable experience. I don't know how much replay value there is in it, but it's a cool story. That's for sure.
I will say, just on a more social political note, that police officer investigation was very heavy.
That was it was pretty intense for it, just like especially for the tone that the rest of the game had. It was very like lighthearted. Well, I mean,
Not like
heavy themes, but like there was
Hopeful.
no and then all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
detective comes in and starts flipping out and yelling at us and stuff. But it is nice to see that they do give you the option to make a stand if you want to stand up for how other people feel, or for other lifestyles or whatever. Like it gives you that option, which is cool, because that back in the 1950s where this is taking place, like that would have been very rare. So
Oh, absolutely. And also, we didn't have to take the promotion.
yeah, we didn't, but we did. And I even asked, well, does the promotion come with more money? And he's just like, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was this bed we made. I do have a couple other games similar to this, investigative games, kind of film noir, crime, whodunits type of deal. So if you guys want to see some more of this type of stuff,
We also would like to play some like lighthearted, funny, a little bit more cozy games. And like I said, we're not opposed to some spooky games.
so if you have any recommendations, feel free to let us know. You can put in comments or in chat and all that kind of stuff, and we'll definitely take a look at some stuff. But yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
yeah. You guys had a good evening, and we'll see you next week.